and welcome to another episode of Late Night with Lenette. Yeah, first thing I'm gonna comment on my sparkly nails. You probably saw them last week, again this week. I usually don't sport gold fingernails. I was in the Special Olympics with a good buddy of mine, Katie, and we won the gold medal. So Katie and I had our nails done gold to match our medals. Exciting time. So if it's blinding, throw on some sunglasses. Anyhow, last week I mentioned that our governor was on board with a company that could possibly be a conflict of interest due to its Common Core standards as their main objective. Well, here's a little more information on that. There's a company in Hanover, New Hampshire, and it's called Standards Work. It lists its co-founder as Susan Pimentel, I guess is how you pronounce her name, who specializes in standards-driven school reform. Ms. Pimentel is listed as the consultant that makes a very impressive $195,000 for her services. One of her claims to fame is that she is the lead writer for the English Language Arts and Literacy Standards for Common Core Standards. I guess she's to blame for the downfall in public education, especially for English. Now, what does that have to do with our governor? Well, her resume is posted on their website. She is a member of the board, along with the illustrious former governor from Massachusetts, Deval Patrick. Now, folks, I'm sorry. Anything that Deval Patrick is involved with, something shady's going on. It's time to say no to our governor. And, you can look forward to commercials by the one, the only, Harry Reid. He's going to be doing commercials here in New Hampshire supporting our governor running for Senate. She hasn't come out and said she's doing it yet, so why is Harry going to be airing commercials? He'll do anything to keep Kelly Ayotte out of office. Folks, anyone who's a friend of Harry Reid is not needed in New Hampshire and does not need to represent us in the Senate. Just say no to Maggie. Now on to hilarious Clinton. Oh, you gotta love the woman. How low, I should say, will she go to try to boost her poll scores above Bernie Sanders? She is running into some trouble there. Folks, she is now targeting college students. She is offering free goodies to college students and their families just to get their vote. Now, she's dangling these carrots in front of them in the form of college tuition program. Get this, that this tax will beat the daylights out of the 1% in our country. Tax those evil rich people. And if the students default on these loans, the universities have to pay for it. What better than that? They're not going to be held liable for it. Now, our current occupant of the White House, from day one, dumped tons of fresh debt onto college students and their families with the Obamacare, or as I call it, the Unaffordable Care Act. College tuition skyrocketed. The quality of college education has gone downhill. The first 2 years are remedial, trying to make up for what college students did not learn in high school. Salary, the money's going up, quality's going down. She wants to tax the wealthy to pay for this. It's not going to work. An article right here, she proposes to spend $350 billion from the government for college. Folks, we're already $1.8 trillion in debt. What's she going to do, borrow more money from China? Time to say no to hilarious Clinton. She needs a new hobby, folks. I have two special guests tonight, two young gentlemen from Merrimack, and they're both with Young Americans for Freedom, also known as YAF. We have the chairman, Jacob Parker, and we have the vice chair of Action, Evan Petrie.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yep, that's
Very good. Welcome to my show, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Now, what on earth is Young Americans for Freedom?
Well, before we go on, I just have to say something about your jacket. I mean, I don't know if it's the fingernails with the jacket. It's dazzling.
It's stunning, isn't it?
Really.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
You made my day.
I need one, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, but Young Americans for Freedom it's a national organization that focuses on helping college and high school age students to promote conservative beliefs on their campuses and in their schools, trying to get them educated, get them a good foundation in conservative principles so that they can be strong American citizens.
Very good. Now, what on earth is a vice chair of action?
So, I, as a vice chair of action, am kind of in charge of all the activities that we do. Let's say we go on a day trip to the Capitol. So I would set that up, call someone there, maybe a representative, and have them give us a tour around. Or we wanted to, let's say, on the 4th of July, we marched in the parade.
Oh, nice.
I kind of organized that. I got the paperwork done and contacted the head of Parks and Recreation here in Merrimack, and we were able to march in the 4th of July parade and promote our values there.
Very good. Was it always an experience to march in a parade? Did you bring candy to throw?
We did.
Yes.
Awesome. That's all the kids care about.
Exactly.
And if they get candy, they will tell their we like them.
That's right.
No, so what are some of your goals with YAF?
Yeah, so kind of when we were thinking about, we just started this year, so when we were thinking about starting this YAF group, I kind of personally felt that I didn't have like a good foundation in conservative principles. I come from a really great conservative line, but I felt like personally I didn't know how to like deal with the issues that were coming up, and so I felt like I needed to start this organization to help myself and to help other youth around me kind of get this foundation of conservative principles, building these blocks of principles that will help us deal with the issues that are coming.
Oh, yeah. And political issues, I talk to a lot of teens at my church or wherever, and they don't think they need to get involved with politics until they're 18. Well, by the time you're 18, it's too late for that first election to learn any issues.
Yeah.
You got to start younger than that.
Exactly.
Well, very good. Now, are you targeting a certain age group?
So YAF is focused on high school and college.
Yep.
Right now our group is only made up of high school students. So we are kind of focusing on them, trying to bring them in. We do have several youth from other towns around Merrimack, and it's great. Yeah, we're just trying to focus on getting the youth.
Oh yeah, get as many towns as possible. Now, are you both homeschooled or you go to Merrimack High?
Yes, we're both homeschooled.
Both homeschooled. Okay, yep. You said yes, and I had two schools.
Yeah.
So that's probably. Would that make it easier or harder to target?
It is a little harder,
Sure.
but we do have some public school students in our group that we try, to network with out into their communities, into their schools and things like that. It does make it a little more difficult for us as leaders to.
Now, have you gone to Merrimack High School at all? Have you proposed anything to the school directly to have maybe maybe a meeting at lunchtime or some way to get the word out to the high school?
We haven't.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But that's a good idea.
Good answer, not yet. Mr. Action, there you go.
Yes,
that'd be a good
item for me.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, I say call the main office. And do you have business cards made up?
Yeah, we're in the process of printing those and getting them out. So
awesome, very good. That's a good start. Always drop your card. Always have. And here's a little tip for you: always have your cards in your left pocket. Why your left pocket?
You shake your hand with your right. And
Bingo.
give it to
There you
left.
go. Very good, Mr. Action. There you have your card in your left. As you're shaking hands, you hand him your card. Always have a card ready and shake your hand.
exactly.
Yes,
That's a good
very
tip.
good. And now, do you guys have name tags or anything like that?
We do not. That's a good idea.
When
though.
you get a name tag, where should you wear your name tag? Another quiz, and this is important.
I'd say the
Left
left
or-
pocket. Left. No.
Thanks for playing. Put it on your right. When you shake hands, what are they going to see first? Because usually when you shake hands, you usually lean forward on one side, so they're going to see this side first. They don't want to look around the corner to see your name tag over
see.
here. Yes. And you'll see a lot of, especially up at the State House, a lot of men put their name tag here. They just don't get it. They just don't get it. Now, how often do you guys meet?
We meet about once a month right now. We're considering meeting twice a month, having a formal meeting, more of education. We actually have our two-part kind of mission is to educate and activate. So we educate people. We're thinking about having an educational night and then having an activate night, sort of going out, going to the Capitol, going to call about issues, getting people.
Oh, there you go. And this is a good year to be starting out, with it being a presidential year coming up. Candidates flock to New Hampshire. And all you have to do is call the different campaigns.
Yeah.
The campaigns, you know, someone, if not the candidate themselves or the campaign manager, will come to your meeting.
Exactly.
Now, where do you usually meet?
We meet right here in Merrimack, usually at my house, but
Yep.
we have, we're thinking about, I've actually networked with some other people to actually see if we can get a presidential candidate to come speak to us. Obviously, we would need a bigger auditorium or something, maybe Merrimack High School to use. So, yeah.
Very good. Yeah. You know, what are some of your goals? I know you want to target teenagers, probably high school students, get them interested in conservative beliefs. Any idea how you're going to do that?
Well, we kind of, with all these activities that we're going to, we're trying to promote, like marching the parade. We're trying to just tell people that we're there, so they know about us, and so hopefully they'll gain interest. We're going to be reading the Constitution in Abbey Griffith Park soon, and hopefully that'll get some people. We haven't thought much about what else to do, but we're definitely looking for more people to join, and we want as many people as we can in our group.
Now, how many members do you have so far?
We have about 12, so we're still growing. We started
That's a nice
this year.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you have a web page?
We do. It's graniteyaf.com.
Oh, very good. And I'm sure it's going to be flashing across the screen as we speak.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, do you have a Facebook page?
We do. We have a great vice chair of public relations. I just forgot the name. But yes, she does a great job on all the social media sites, Google Plus, everything, getting our name out there. So.
Very good. Now, what are some of the conservative issues that you're trying to push on people your age, trying to open their eyes to?
Yeah.
What are some of the issues?
So YAF does have 5 guiding principles that we try to focus on topics that address those. Those 5 topics are strong national defense, individual liberty, traditional values, limited government, and
individual
rights. So
very good. Yeah. Now, when I ran for state rep, on my palm cards, I had some of those listed: traditional family values, limited government, and you got to be strong in the Constitution. That's all there is to it. Now, did you folks watch the first debate?
We did. We were.
No.
Both of us are Boy Scouts, so we were both on a high venture trip during that week.
Oh, nice, nice. Now, are you working on Eagle Scout Awards?
We are.
Yes.
Wow, very
I
good.
just finished my project in Greater Woods here in Merrimack.
Yeah.
But I'm working toward the rest of the Eagle Scout Award.
Now, what was your Eagle project?
It was building 2 bridges across a marshy place in Greater Woods.
Nice. And you're working on your Eagle Scout?
I am, yeah. I'm thinking about going for a project in Watson Park, just down the road, and building some steps down to the river. So
nice. Very good. Well, good luck to both of you.
Thank you
Now,
very
as a
much.
state rep, I had the pleasure of going to, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 different Eagle Scout ceremonies. Always impressive.
Yeah.
One young man was from my church, so that was kind of cool. But that's quite the to-do.
Yeah.
Now you have to, remember, you have to raise the money. You just can't, your parents just don't pay for it. You have to raise the funds, right?
Yes.
You raise the money. You try to get other people to help you build your project or support your project. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big focus on leadership, so it carries over into YAF as well.
There you go.
Getting us to be leaders.
Now you probably had to go before the town council, I'm guessing, to get approval for your projects.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and you also will have to do that.
Yeah. For sure.
Wow. Well, very good. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. I had 2 older brothers that were in Scouts, but didn't have the gumption to do an Eagle Scout project. That's.
It is a big thing to tackle. So.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, the Constitution. Now, you're having a constitutional reading. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, why the Constitution? What brought this on?
So several years ago, my sister actually started a YAF group, and she had done this activity before. It's part of an organization called We Read the Constitution. And I think a big focus is that so many Americans today haven't read the Constitution or don't know what it says, or they think it's a dead document. But really, it is not. It's living. It's what keeps our country together.
Exactly.
So
that was a big issue in the first debate. One candidate is very strong in the Bill of Rights and our constitutional rights. One candidate was kind of just blowing it off.
Yeah.
And excuse me, you really can't blow off the Constitution. And people look at it as an outdated document.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of this, like, people look at the Bible as an outdated book. Oh, it's just a history book. It's outdated. No.
Yeah.
The Constitution is still alive and well and needs to be followed. Your constitutional rights, a lot of your constitutional rights are God-given rights in the first place.
Yeah. Exactly.
The Second Amendment, it's a God-given right.
For sure.
I look at the Constitution as the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Finish
then
off those.
exactly. But then our governor doesn't believe that. So
Yeah.
so now, what are some of the field trips? I said you said you went to the State House. What other field trips have you gone on so far, or are you planning?
I guess this is not really a field trip, but we're having a speaker come to us and talk to us, hopefully on marriage and the family. I think that's this month.
Yep.
And we march in the parade. We're gonna read the Constitution, and those are kind of what we've planned out. I don't know if I've missed anything.
No, I think we're still looking to the future, just kind of planning out our year, what's going to look like. So yeah.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Now, there's also I don't know what. I have an idea what party you lean towards.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Republican. There you go, conservative, family values, traditional family values.
Exactly.
Well, there's the Merrimack GOP. They have a meeting, I believe it's the third Monday of every month. There's the Hillsborough County GOP meeting. These are good places to go and get speakers to come to your group.
Some networking there.
Exactly. And the State House. And now, when you went to the State House, was it during session?
It was not. We went with Representative Jack Balcom.
Oh,
who
he's been on my show.
Oh, great. Yeah, he took us around. It was not in session though. We wish it was, but not at the time. So.
Well, you have to plan to go back during session. First Wednesday in January till sometime in June, depending on if it's a budget year or what's going on. But you definitely want to go during a session day, and also you should go on a committee day. Sit in the different and rotate around. Sit in different committees. Each committee is totally different. Some committees have almost, every committee has work. I was on House Judiciary, which, other than the Finance and Ways and Means, was one of the busiest committees. And people are like, well, Judiciary, that has to do with judicial matters. Yes, but it also landlord and tenant issues. Anything that has to do with, there was a lot of pro-life bills that came to my committee. What was really disgusting with the landlord-tenant, we had a bill on bed bugs. And I'm sitting at my committee table. They're shaped in a big U, and this lady plunks down all these jars with this, these vials that had a clear gel and all sorts of bed bugs, and I itched and scratched through that whole hearing.
Oh, no. Wow.
It was so repulsive. But it's a huge problem in Manchester. Bed bugs are coming back. As disgusting as that sounds. But yes, committee work is very interesting.
Yeah, we actually did stop by the Transportation Committee, and that was good to see.
I think that's what Jack is on.
He was not there that day.
Okay.
But one of our
he might be on.
Former town councilors was on it. So.
Who's that?
I can't remember his name.
Tony Pellegrino?
I can't remember his name, but I just recognized him from when he approved my Eagle Scout project.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He might still be currently serving. I'm not sure though.
Transportation. I think it might be Tony Pellegrino or Jack Balcom. I don't know. I'm not up there, so I don't care.
Exactly.
I wasn't on that committee. Very good. Yeah, that would definitely be interesting, to say the least.
And we have personally attended sessions of the Senate and stuff, and so we
good.
definitely want to bring our group there.
Yeah. The state Senate is totally different. I mean, you only have 24 senators to deal with instead of 400 state reps.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's a very colorful day in the in Reps Hall. Sitting up in the gallery can be very interesting.
Yeah.
Depending on what's being said on the floor.
Yeah.
Get very animated.
Yeah.
You don't want to spend a whole day there. You'd go nuts.
Yeah.
Now, do either of you have any, aspirations for running for office when you get out of high school, of any sort?
I haven't thought about it much,
Yep.
but it's definitely a possibility.
Yep.
This education that we're getting in this YAF group will definitely help if I do choose to do that.
Yeah, and I have seriously considered it. I don't know if I've decided quite yet, but yeah, definitely, it's definitely an option for me. So
Now, what year in school are you both in?
we're both going to our senior years.
Senior year. So, aspirations for post high school, continuing your education. What are you planning on doing?
For sure. Yeah.
Have you looked into schools?
Yes, we're actually. I'm planning on serving a mission for my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also known as Mormons.
Yep,
It's a 2-year mission. So I'll do that for 2 years, and then after that, I think I'm planning on going out to Brigham Young University in Provo, and work it from there. I'm not sure.
Yep, my husband and I lived in Utah for about 6 months. Very interesting. Every weekend we went camping and fishing. The skiing was phenomenal. Now, what do you want to major in?
I'm not sure yet. I've thought about being an airline pilot, maybe something in dentistry, something like that. I'm not exactly sure.
Cool. And you?
I'm following basically the same plan he is. Brigham Young University and a mission. I think I want to go into the medical field, be a dentist.
Yeah.
Yep, or something in that field. So.
You got to touch people. No, thank you. And you got to put fingers in mouths. I don't touch people. No, nothing in the medical field for me.
It's good for getting on the liberals. You can be like,
Yeah, no, I don't touch people. No. I was a PE teacher. I got paid to play. Hello. Go to school in shorts and a t-shirt, cold weather, sweatpants.
Oh yeah.
What's not to love? And I got paid to play.
Exactly.
I didn't have to touch anyone. Well, very good. It's the state rep in New Hampshire. You only have to be 18 years old to be a state rep. Did you know that?
I did not know.
Didn't know.
Yes, only 18. In my first term, there was a young man. Him and his mother both ran, and they both won. Representative Kyle Jones and his mother, Representative Laura Jones.
Wow.
Both ran, both won. He only did 1 term. She's still in office. She's in her 3rd term, but he was only 18 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, you
for
keep
him.
that in mind. Now you said you're going on the missions trip. Do you know ahead of time where you're going, or do they just surprise? You're going to Uganda. You're going to South America. Do you have any idea?
We don't actually. We just submit an application with our names and a little bit of our experiences and maybe a language preference, what we think, and then we send it in, and then by inspiration, the leaders of the church just send us where they think they need us, and then they usually let us know about 3 months in advance.
Wow. Now, can you speak a foreign language?
No.
No.
I've taken a semester of Latin, but that's about it.
Okay, so it's going to be an English-speaking country, obviously.
Well, no, some people do. They send them out to countries they've never spoken the language before.
Really?
Yeah.
We just had like 3 friends. One's going to Utah, one's going to Nevada, and one's going to Brazil on their missions. And one's speaking Portuguese, and the other 2 are speaking Spanish.
Yeah. Wow.
So
very good.
really cool.
Yeah, interesting. Now, did you have to raise your own support for this trip, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's about $10,000.
Oh wow!
So
and it's a 2-year commitment.
Yep.
Yeah. So you'll be sending out mooch letters. That's what I call them. My daughters both went on a short-term missions trip through our church, and they had to send out the mooch letters, trying to get money, and then make sure you follow with thank you notes to anyone who gave you support. And then also it was nice to send them a letter to tell them how the trip went. My daughters sent all the thank yous. I don't know if they actually did all the this is how the trip went letters. Expectations were great, but time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Now, do you think your time with YAF will tie into your missions program at all?
That's a good question.
I think it will for me, because just being in this leadership position of vice chair of action, on a mission you have to show a lot of leadership. It's just you and one of the guy, he's called your companion, and you're with him for several months at a time, and and so you're in charge of everything. So being in this leadership position is going to help me for that leadership position on my mission.
Very good. Yeah.
I think going along the same lines, the leadership for sure. I think a lot of the interaction, learning to work with people and how to set things up will definitely play into the sharing the message and things like that.
Very good. Now you're only 17, so when do you turn 18?
I turn in January.
January.
And I turn in May.
Okay, so you'll both be old enough to vote next election.
That's right.
Yes. Now you are planning on getting registered to vote as soon as you turn 18.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, how do you think turning 18 and being able to vote, do you think that'll have any positive, anything positive in your position? You know, my question is not being formulated. But once you're able to vote, do you think that's going to help you influence people to get more involved in your group?
I think so. I think part of from an experience standpoint, like applying those principles of conservative, taking those building blocks and applying them to a leader's platform and seeing where they stand, I think will definitely give us the experience to share with them. Also to lead our group in the process of looking at people's platform and comparing. Will definitely help us in leading our YAF chapter.
Now, one thing you can do. Have you ever worked on a campaign?
I have. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
I've done some calling for some people. So.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Now that's one way that campaigns are always looking for volunteers. That's one way to really get in grassroots level.
Yeah.
My first term, our last presidential election series, my youngest daughter was an intern for Rick Santorum.
Okay.
So, I mean, she got plunked right in on that level. But, I mean, even your state reps, anyone running for state rep, state senate, governor, there's going to be congressional seats open. Senator Ayotte's going to be going for re-election. And then, of course, the presidential election.
Yeah.
There's so much folks can do helping out a campaign.
Yeah.
And there's usually always food at campaign headquarters.
That's how you go.
And another good place to check out would be the New Hampshire GOP office.
Yeah.
It's up in Concord. I can picture the place. I can't think of the address. Exit 13. You can get to it. Yeah, that's another place that would be a good place to visit.
Yeah, as a YAF chapter, as a YAF organization, we can't endorse a candidate.
Right.
But as we can definitely we're definitely considering as the presidential candidate gets closer in elections, we can definitely extend the invitation to our followers, saying this is what we're doing, you know.
Right.
But as under the YAF name, we can't endorse them.
Right.
But yeah.
Right after the primary, you can endorse the candidate because that's who you want to get into office. Like I'm in the same position. I'm the president of a women's Republican club. I can't endorse anyone this time around. Once the primary happens and they have someone that's nominated, then full force you can endorse that candidate and do whatever you can for that candidate.
Yeah.
And now if you go to a headquarters like the New Hampshire GOP, you could be making phone calls for all different candidates, not just one candidate. So that's one place where you guys could serve.
Good point.
Because they take over everybody. They don't just focus on one candidate. Well, we are at the end of our time.
Thank you so much.
Didn't that go quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on my show. It was a pleasure getting to know both of you.
Thank you.
Folks, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Late Night with Lenette. Stay tuned next week. We'll have another interesting guest. Take care. Good night and God bless.